about, like, you know, back then it was like, hey, niche down, niche down. Do you feel like that's not helpful?
You can go too niche for sure. You can go too niche. You could be early to the wrong niche and not have the right amount of steam to get you to a place where it's sustainable. You can do a lot of different missteps that just you cut yourself short. The key, though, in my opinion,
Ruslan.
if I knew then what I knew now. New series, Mastermind My Business. For those of you guys that didn't know, we have a third channel called Mastermind My Business, all about handling your business, your mindset, your money, the master's way. And so we're launching a new series. If I knew then what I knew now around different topics that I think people actually care about, okay? So I want to start with YouTube in general. If I knew then what I knew now, I've been uploading to YouTube consistently for 9 years. There are a lot of things that I would have done differently had I gone back. And I think a lot of people wonder about this stuff because, you know, you see where we are now, channel's growing by almost 40,000 subscribers in the last month alone, reaching over 1 million unique users every single month, which I wish people would just hit that subscribe button for not being subscribed. So if I knew then what I knew now, what would I have done different? And I would say here's the number one thing. I started YouTube trying to create who I wanted to be in the next season without taking inventory of who I already was, okay? Meaning this, I was trying to make videos about topics that I wasn't really an expert in yet. Outside of my vlogging era, which, holy moly, there's a couple family vlogs up there with Levi and Monette. So glad I didn't go that route. But I would say there's a lot of topics that I would speak into, marketing, business, stuff that I could speak into now, having been on the other side of all this, that I was trying to speak into prematurely and completely missing the reality of what I was most equipped to speak on, what I was most experienced in. Once I made that adjustment, which was really on a whim and an accident, that's when things started to take off. So I wanted to talk on things that I was passionate about, but not that I was good at and not that the world needed for me.
So what was the example of that? What were you talking about back then?
Well, I was talking about a lot of business topics. I was talking about a lot of marketing ideas. I was talking about a lot of how to get your music out there concepts. And initially what got my Patreon to pop was reviewing other people's music, right? Which, like, that first growth of like, oh man, like we're making a couple grand a month off of Patreon. That was like 2018, 2019 when I was doing the music reviews. And that was great because it gave me some margin. I think getting that Patreon up to like 3 or 4 grand gave me some margin, so I didn't have to just completely rely on just music revenue. And that was awesome and it was good, but it was not my sweet spot. And I discovered my sweet spot kind of on a whim of just leaning into trying different formats.
Yeah.
And stacking it with the need to go live so that I wouldn't talk myself out of publishing a video or taking too long to publish a video and then the video would feel stale, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, if I can go back, if I knew then what I know now, I would have said, hey, Ruslan, lean into the thing you've had the most experience in, which is actually not marketing and selling music. It's actually in speaking about God, theology, the Bible, leading Bible studies, tying in current events, tying in things people already care about and are considering. Make that the crux of your content. Double, triple, quadruple down on that, because that's where you're going to get the biggest ROI, because that's the thing you have the most experience in. And I stumbled into that. Like I didn't have that plan initially. I kind of just stumbled into that, and I just kept trying different formats. And John 5:24, Jesus says, "Those who believe my message and believe in God who sent me will have eternal life. They will never be condemned for their sins because they have already passed from death to life." And that is the exact theme of our latest collection, the Death to Life collection, available now through Sunday. So get yours now before it's gone forever over at blessgod.shop. I'll see you over there. Peace. It worked. If I can go back, I would have loved to record and or stream some of those early Bible studies I had, like figure out the tech side of how to infuse the conversations from Bible study. Like that would have been fun, you know?
Yeah.
Or at the very least scale that over. So that would be the most like specific one that if I can go back, I would do.
Okay, so you also though at the same time were a full-time musician,
Correct.
which although you weren't a Nick D or some massive star, is like the top 1% of people that do music, being able to support a family on that. In hindsight, though,
Yeah.
why do you say you weren't qualified enough to be speaking on marketing and business?
It's not that I wasn't qualified.
Okay.
It's that I had a surface level of understanding those topics to get me to a place of self-sustainability, but not to a place of scaling anything. And I was more qualified talking about my faith, my journey of becoming a Christian, Bible studies, tying in what I would call the essentials of the faith. So it wasn't that I wasn't qualified. I was just more qualified to speak on the things I'm speaking on now.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. It's kind of like that idea. It's like, do you want to learn from someone who did it and then some, or do you want to learn someone that just did it? But at the same time, that was the era of documenting what you're learning and what you're doing, which is an interesting era. Hindsight, it's like, what? We were watching people that don't really know what they were trying to figure it out, you know?
Yeah.
Versus now it's like this, it's a very expert level value that people have to be able to
able to disrupt and to be able to communicate and add value, but like in a very practical sense.
Yeah.
You know, so I think the more rare the accomplishment is and the more other people trying to do said accomplishment, the more unique it is in a marketplace. This is again why Alex Hormozi is so successful, right?
Yeah.
Getting to a place of making $100,000 a year doing independent Christian music. It's cool.
Yeah.
But like, how radical is that?
Yeah.
And how many other people are trying to do that need to reverse engineer that, right? Because there's probably not a lot of people that are creative enough to make good art, but also care about learning the business side. That's a very, 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 very small niche.
And to your point of like radicalism, Alex Hormozi is 100 million, that radical number that's like, well, if I just do 1% of what he did, I hit $1 million, right? And he also had it's general business.
Yes.
And I did this all in my early 20s.
Yes.
It's the allure of fast money, the teaching of doing it the right way with the super massive number, which makes it attractive to almost everybody. The people that want to get rich fast, the people that want to get rich the right way, and the people that only listen to people that do really, really big numbers. But like for what you were saying, it's like, it's very niche, which is a weird in between. What do you think about the niche thing? Not that we got to derail too far off, but about like, you know, back then it was like, hey, niche down. Do you feel like that's not helpful?
You can go too niche for sure. You can go too niche. You could be early to the wrong niche and not have the right amount of steam to get you to a place where it's sustainable. You can do a lot of different missteps that just you cut yourself short. The key though, in my opinion, is can you build out a system where you keep doing it and it's not a lot of heavy lifting and you can go long enough until something pops. Right? So if you can build out that system, then you just kind of keep going. The thing about making music or doing projects, like it's very, very exhausting and time consuming to do music, an album several times a year with music videos. Like it could just get daunting. But like, I feel like if you're trying to start and do something, almost everyone can stream on the side.
Yeah.
You stream a couple times a week. You stream about things that's on your mind. You think right. And the streaming keeps you accountable. And now with stuff like Canva, thumbnails are easier.
Yeah.
Right? Like I was taking OBS screenshots when I was starting to stream and just putting an image over them right inside of OBS. But now you got things like Canva that makes thumbnails way easier. You have the ability to edit video faster. You have AI that can assist you in it. Like there's so many more resources to help you get the frequency of content out.
Yeah.
YouTube is giving you research tabs on what kind of videos to make now. Which is kind of crazy if you think about it, right?
Yeah.
And so I think, if I knew then what I knew now, I would have leaned in earlier in the area. I was more experienced and it was more needed.
Yeah.
And I would have started live streaming soon. 5:24, Jesus says, those who believe my message and believe in God who sent me will have eternal life. They will never be condemned for their sins because they have already passed from death to life. And that is the exact theme of our latest collection, the Death to Life collection, available now through Sunday. So get yours now before it's gone forever over at blessgod.shop. I'll see you over there. Peace. So much for watching that video. Guys, I believe that one of the best ways you can build a business is by first building a platform online. So Zach Sparazzo puts together a free training for you on the #1 metric you can be looking for to explode your YouTube platform. Click the link in the pinned comment below so you can start that now. All right? I'll see you over there. Peace.